Traumatic brain injuries. What are traumatic brain injuries? They're often referred to as TBIs, traumatic brain injury, and it is just what it says. It's an injury to the brain. Lately, traumatic brain injuries have become a big item of discussion, especially with all the lawsuits filed over football players having repetitive concussions and having traumatic brain injuries. How do you get a traumatic brain injury? Well, playing sports. Repetitive concussions can cause a traumatic brain injury. You can get a traumatic brain injury from a fall. If you fall and strike your head on the pavement, you can injure the blood vessels in your brain. If you have a slow bleed in your brain, that may create pressure. The pressure may create brain damage. It could even result in death. You can get a traumatic brain injury from a car crash. Even without striking your head, you can get a traumatic brain injury. Visualize your head as a 10-pound bowling ball, and picture that bowling ball on the top of a stick, which would be like your spine. And then imagine that stick whipping. Think what your head's doing. When you get hit from behind, your head whips forwards and backwards. And not only is your head moving at a certain speed, but your brain is moving at a different speed inside your head. And so your brain is sloshing around inside your head, and it's hitting on the skull. That's causing damage to brain cells, causing damage to neurons and transmitters in your brain. These things are serious. They can have lasting consequences. Symptoms of traumatic brain injuries would be loss of memory, lack of sleep. It can be dizziness, balance problems. It can be headaches. It can be fatigue. Numerous things can arise as a result of a traumatic brain injury. So if you've been injured and you think that you're just not thinking clearly, you really need to get with a doctor and find out, okay, have I hurt my brain? Have I hurt some of those transmitters? What's going on? And then you also need to consult an attorney. Traumatic brain injury cases, they're difficult and they're expensive to prove, and you need somebody who's going to stand by you through the process. So if you think you've been injured and suffered a traumatic brain injury, give Truman Law Firm a call. We're here to help.